Hey YouTube, what's up? I'm Max Davies, and today I'm going to be talking about Kizer Element 2 frames. Now, as you can see from those, they're a bit battered. I mean, that's probably what they used to look like. That's the colour that they were, and then 5 months on, that's what they're on now. With quarantine skating as well, so obviously you can't skate as much. So, anyway, let's get down to it. You've probably seen the Kizer Element 2 frames with flat setups, and you're probably wondering, Max, why are you riding anti-rocker? Well, I can't ride flat setup, plain and simple. Probably can't ride skate either. They remind me quite a lot of the USDA on skate for some reason, just because the H block is so damn wide, and I wasn't even expecting that to work anti-rocker. But if you can see, the anti-rocker is just about over it, so I'm kind of safe. Now, let's talk about wheel specs. Now, if you do prefer riding a flat setup, there's 5 different combinations that you can do. The highest is 68 on the outside, 60 in the insides. Then you've got 67 on the outsides, 59 on the insides. Thirdly, you can do 65 on the outsides and 57s on the insides, or 64s on the outsides, 56 on the insides, and the smallest you can do is a 62 on the outside and a 54 on the inside. Now with me, because I got big feet and the frame only comes in one size, when I put my 64 wheels on, I was looking down, I could very barely even see the 64 wheel. So that's why I got into a 68. But yeah, so you got 68mm, 45mm, and that's the rest of the combinations up there if you want to mess about. But anyway, let's get properly onto the frame. Right, first off, frames, they are fully metal. There's no plastic involved. H block is metal, frame is metal, even the bolts are metal. I mean, of course they're metal. It's aluminium cast, and because it's metal, it also means that you can't annoy anyone in the skate park, which is great because I'm always being told off from the skate park for using wax and stuff. Hitting a coping with these, you can wax things, of course, but with this, there's almost no need to if you're doing like H block tricks, because you'll just slide anyway. Even though like you don't actually need to wax anything. If you do want to wax them, go ahead, be my guest. But you will probably be going straight back into the 90s. It's that quick. Like you'll end up completing what you want to skate and then some more. So if you're going to do it, just be a little more careful with metal. When I was skating before, my Kizer Slimline 2s, whenever I was to skate something that wasn't wax or skating at all, skating, doing like a front side, and then suddenly jolting myself and hurt myself from a sudden stop, that doesn't exist in these. You'll slide and then you'll gradually stop, even if like you've gone for like a long distance and that. So I think that's really cool. The noise in these is amazing as well. It's a really good metal noise. It's like a ting. That's really rewarding. I mean, you could be doing something totally rubbish, but just hearing that noise, it makes it so much more worth it. I always find as well, especially with these frames, skating these, I have much more power and energy. Mainly because I feel I can relax a bit more on a ledge or a rail or a pipe, because it's so more easier to slide, so I have a bit more time for a session. Also, the frames are a bit more narrower there as well, so I feel a little more streamlined when I'm skating. I definitely have much more room of my sole plates as well, even negative plates. So I do my hot dogs or double negative macos or whatever you call them, I feel more locked in on them because I have so much more room. I was expecting these frames to be massively heavy because they're metal, but they're not. They got some weight to them. I mean, they're a bit more heavier than in your typical plastic frame, but not much. I think that's in a way a good thing and a bad thing. You know, like with me, like I like having particularly a bit more heavier boots, so when I'm skating stuff and anything happens, I'll hopefully land on the right way up. But yeah, it just keeps your balance and stuff as well. Yeah, I don't like skating like a really light skate that when you go do an air, you don't quite know how your feet are. So I think that's really good that these are quite like in the middle of lightness and heaviness. They haven't actually affected my skin at all. If anything, they made me a bit more better. with speed and stuff, and durability and stabilization. So yeah, so one of my favourite features about this is, I don't know about anyone else, but with me I'm quite OCD of how I present my skates. So I always have the logo of a frame on the sole side of my boot, not the negative side. That's on both boots. And with these, obviously the Kizer frame, it used to be have Kizer here. So this is the boot. This is the frame for my right foot. So my sole will be here. And whenever, especially with my Kizer Slimline 2s, the bolts are always coming undone. It was a pain because the bolts were kind of on the inside of each other, not on the outside. But with these, I've discovered that the bolting system is always on the right hand side for some reason. No, that's a bad thing, that's a really good thing. So it means you don't have to take your boots off, you don't have to put in awkward positions just to tie up your bolts, change your wheels or anything like that. So I thought that was a really cool feature. And fair enough, I also discovered that on my Powerslide Z100s as well. So learn new things every single day. But yeah, I thought that was like a really cool feature. You know, it gives a bit more time in the park, saves you from taking your boots off all the time. And plus as well, like, the bolts in here are really sturdy. I don't think I've ever had these come loose once at all since I've been skating. I've been skating these since January time. I've been doing outside, bit of street, skating in Seoul Park as well, even just skating up to the shops and back. So, but yeah, these bolts haven't really come undone. I know every frame's different. You probably have a frame that's really loose, but I'm quite happy this is quite a tight, sturdy frame. So on the topic of sturdiness, because it's metal, you get no flex whilst you're skating at all. So you feel more and more in control of your skate abilities, whether you're doing like a grind or whether you're doing, you know, just getting backwards or forwards, something like that. Because these are so like sturdy and stuff, and you can't bend them or anything, everything just feels more perfect in place when you're skating. So because these frames invite you to use bigger wheels for flat setups or whatever, the frame also has to be a bit more bigger as well. And that encourages and motivates you to get low on your tricks on copings and stuff. And I think it was on my second session when I went to Ramp World for the first time. I did like a top acid, and then 10 minutes later stuff threw that top acid into like a true top sole, and I was like, wow, like, these frames are great. I'm not saying that these frames will make you do crazy stuff like that, but it's probably not that crazy anyway. But what I'm saying is stuff, because it kind of pushes out your limits a bit because it's so much more bigger. It makes you fall down a bit more low without you kind of realising. And I think that's really great. I know the mentions of, because it's metal as well, you then get the noise as well when you land that brand new trick. It's just, oh, amazing. I love it. So because the metal frames, they're going to last way more longer than your typical plastic frames. With these I spent £100, and before that I was riding my Kizer Slimline 2s. I think they're about 45 quid, and after just like a couple of like weeks of skating, like the H block, you can see where I skate H block, so I have to constantly move that around. With this, there's an awful lot of dents and scratches and stuff, but it's still almost the same position as what I got from day one 5 months ago. So I think these are definitely going to last me way more longer. Well, they will last way more longer. I think it's better to spend a little bit more money to save more money, if you get what I mean. I think these are perfect. I mean, Liam even bought a pair. My second session riding them, and he loves them. He even rides the same setup as me. It would be interesting to see what it's like riding a flat setup, but when I was in Winter Clash 2 years ago, riding flat setup on mega frames, oh, no. So my pros and cons of frames. First pro, the best pro, is the sound they make. Just the metallic noise, like that is like worth. I used to skate with my headphones in. I still do now, but not as much. But the reason I don't skate my headphones as much now is just to hear that sound. Is that good? I really like it. It sounds really cool as well. Like say if like a big skate park, like an indoor park, it's quite echoey, and you're just skating around like a corner of a bowl or whatever, and it just sort of echoes. That's like, it just sounds so good. It makes you look like you're doing something right, and yeah, it motivates you for doing better or to keep on at it and stuff. So the next one is carrying speed, either to or from skate objects, on objects as well, because metal on metal, you just fly across. I haven't skated on stone. I wouldn't like to skate on stone. I know this has been properly worn in, because I can see myself buckling quite hard. Wooden, haven't really done that. I don't think I'd slide on wood. I think it'd probably just be metal. But yeah, carry on speed on objects. It's really, you get quite fast on it. There's no sudden stops. And not only in the speed of the skate, but in myself as well. I find like I've got more energy because I'm almost kind of resting on the skate objects and stuff. The next one is skate park etiquette. You can't piss anyone off at the skate park, and I think that's really good. Personally, I love using wax. You don't like using wax, okay, that's fair enough. Everyone's entitled to do what they want. For me, wax works best for me. But whenever I go to the skate park, I always feel like people kind of look at me thinking, oh no, like he's gonna wax the milk up now, typical blue rollerblader. And then when I actually just jump straight in the ball and just do a grind just like that, they're like, oh, okay, fair enough. You know, I find people kind of get on a lot more better when you're not using it. It always shows as if you're almost adapting to meet halfway with everyone and kind of keep the peace between people. So I think that's really good. I mean, like, you can still wax the hell out of this as well and be sneaky about it, which I've done. But yeah, in general, it's just nice just going to the skate park and not having to be told off by anybody, having been yelled at and getting stupid little arguments. So long lasting, like I said, pay a bit more money, definitely pays you back. These are very, very long lasting. I mean, 5 months, scratched up, but still in perfect condition. Okay, so that's the pros. Now time for the cons. The first con I'm going to have to say is, even though when you're skating on anything that isn't waxed, obviously you're going to fly metal, but what happens when you have the idea of, I don't know, doing like a sole or something, and only half you skate metal and the other half is skating plastic? Well then, you know, you're kind of going back to square one, where you either buckle and stuff, or you just stop dead still. And I think that's quite annoying. I mean, if anything, like if there was like some sort of metal sort of plate you can put onto sole plates, that'd be great. I think I've seen what brand? There was one brand, I'll put that in a minute, where they made a frame for big wheel setups, and it even came with a little sort of sole plate on the sides. I think if Kizer were to do that idea for these frames, I think that would be really, really good. I think that would be very beneficial for a lot of people, saving money and stuff as well. That's one of them. Another one is the sizing. Now, if you got size 6 or size 7 feet, you know, these frames are great. You don't have to change your wheel size or anything like that. I think with me, I think I probably would benefit way more with a metal setup with smaller wheels, like a 64, because sometimes I find the 68s can be just a little bit too big, depending on the skate parks. You know, you go to some skate parks and the coping sticks up way more than other skate parks do. Well, I get that issue with the 68s. I mean, it was hard enough doing the 64 with front of 64mm wheels, trying to do top sides. Then try going to a park with literally like no coping, it may as well be a ledge, you know. So I think, back to it, if these frames came with like 2 different sizes, back in like how they did with the Kizer Slimline 2s, and they did 2 or 3 different sizes, I think that'd be much more better. It's not an issue, because I found like, you know, you can put 68s on with any rocker, but say if you're size 10, you want to ride flat setup, but you can barely see your wheels if you're riding a 64. I think if anything, that would be something to consider if they were going to make another Kizer frame, like another size and another bit of sole plates either here. I mean, it definitely would cost a lot more money to make and sell, and I wouldn't even mind buying it, because at the end of the day, I enjoy skating. I'm going to invest in what I love, so I don't think it's in itself, something to do with the frame. I think it's maybe a mix of my skating and the condition of skate parks. But you won't get this in wooden parks. But when you go to a concrete skate park, particularly older ones, you know, on the copings, sometimes if you look, you'll see big bits of concrete sticking out that's been taken away, I don't know, by stunk pads or something like that. Well, I found whenever doing topside tricks, I've always now and then caught myself in these iron corn potholes, and God, does that scare the hell out of you, because you literally just stop. Like, it's literally metal on concrete, and it's just like, and you fly. I think that is quite scary. I mean, you can see that metal shiny bit there. That bit always gets caught on like just potholes in general. So I don't think that's probably. I'm gonna chuck it in anyway. I mean, as a warning for people. Yeah, I'm gonna say as a warning for people for going to older skate parks or any park in general that they might be a bit wary on. Just be careful, because you will stop dead. You'll skate totally fine doing front sides and unis and everything like that. But yeah, just watch it when you do like soles and anything that you think you can catch your foot on. Just be a bit more careful. But yeah, again, pros outweigh the cons. I definitely do some negative things soon because I'm becoming way too positive. I definitely would recommend getting some Kizer Element 2 frames. I mean, if a buddy's got a set, give them a try. I definitely would try before you buy, because I know they're not for everybody. I wasn't in the scene when metal frames were like a thing back in the 90s, I think it was. I'm not sure. Shows one there. But yeah, they definitely look much more better. They sound better. They make you perform way more better as well. Yeah, I just really like this. Okay guys, so that's my view for the Kizer Element 2 frames. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I massively appreciate it. Stay safe guys, I'm Davies. Peace.